Hey, thanks for joining. I'm your host, Chris Gennaro. My co-host is Eric Rizk, and today we have GutVoid. How you doing, guys?
Good. How you doing?
Cool. So let's just start out. Just say what your names are and what you do.
I'm Daniel Bonofiglio, and I play guitar.
And I'm Brendan Dean, and I play guitar and do vocals as well.
Cool. We'll just get started with the split that just came out this year. I think it was in May. Blood Harvest put out a 4-way split with you guys. Bloodspore, Soul Devourment, new song. And I think it's not quite what the other single that you had, Forbidden City. It's a little bit different than that. So talk about the new song, and then we'll get into like where everything is going.
Sure. Oh, also Coagulator also on the split too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was afraid to say their name. I was like, I'm gonna mess that up. So
yeah, it just quickly, yeah. So it came out on Blood Harvest, Sewer Rot, and Black Hole Productions and Rotted Life. So there's 4 labels all involved. Yeah. And
yeah, different labels packing different physical medias of it. So Blood Harvest was one of the vinyl releases.
Yeah.
Which there we go. You can see right there.
Well, yeah, we can get into the merch.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like Blood Harvest has been doing a lot of those 4-way splits. We've had a couple other bands that were doing them, and they were super happy with the distribution and the publicity that they were getting from them.
Yeah. Rodrigo's fantastic.
Yeah. And then the CD, Black Hole Productions from Brazil. Really, Fernando, he did a really good job.
Yeah. Like improved, like everyone did all 4 labels. Like it was everyone did a great job, especially considering it was 4 different labels, 4 different bands, a lot of moving parts, and like, right in the heyday of the pandemic. Like everyone was really great, really like supportive and understanding for like timelines and everything. And it's just, I feel, and I hope most people do, that the final products, both with the like physical media and the music, was all like just fantastic. It turned out greater than we had thought back when this was kind of initially brought to us.
Mm-hmm.
2020 did.
Yeah. I guess in terms of composition, it's like the next step for us. I guess I think Brendan would agree, right?
Did you do that? Did you do that as a 4-piece?
We did. So so this is the first recording we have where we're the full band, because the EP and then the single Forbidden City was just Dan and I. Dan did bass, and then we programmed drums. Where Murmurations, which is the song in the split, this is the first one that has Justin Boehm from Orchidectomy on bass, and then Dennis on drums, who from Exsanguate and like School Damage, which is a punk band and stuff. So it's kind of the first real kind of manifestation of the full band of GutVoid, which is what we are now as well. But yeah, kind of just jumping off of what Dan was saying, like composition wise, it definitely is like much more a step kind of in the direction we're going. Like we're currently right now recording drums for our LP. And although like you can hear stuff from the EP, you can hear some stuff from Forbidden City and Murmurations as well. I'd say Murmurations is probably the closest to kind of what to expect on the LP, because it kind of captures that death doom kind of feel from the EP, and especially Forbidden City, which I think is like a really like kind of a slower tempo one for us. But it has kind of that unique little bit of like some prog snippets in there, like some sneaky technicality that kind of just came out. And then, like I said, like having Dennis on the drums, like he kind of brings his own style too, which is different than kind of what Dan and I were writing drum wise that were on the EP and Forbidden City. So it really is a good melding of kind of where we're going to now.
Yeah, because the drums on Forbidden City would have been a little bit more simple, right? Than he probably, you probably bore the heck out of him to do maybe something like that.
He's got a jazz background, so you can kind of hear that in his fills a bit, and like some of his beats, and he's a punk drummer. So he kind of brings that in there, and a little bit of grind. Like he's got an interesting mix of styles.
Yeah, it's
really cool.
It's really cool. Yeah, like especially now since tomorrow's the last day of drum recording for the LP, so he has one song left. And just hearing what he's done for these tracks, it's like, when we were jamming, we could hear it, but like just really hearing him go for it, like the ideas he's brought forward, it's very different in a way better way than like what, kind of the scratch tracks that Dan and I wrote initially for those. And like, the things on like Forbidden City and the EP, like he definitely would add a much more exciting flavor to those songs. So whenever we play live, you'll probably hear that. I don't think he's going to be playing it note for note at all.
Did you re-record Forbidden City, or is there any thought of doing that?
I don't know. I don't know what you think, Dan. It would be cool at some point. It'd be like to record that and the EP with Dan and Justin. We don't have any plans to at the moment. Hopefully, like provided how things go, we start playing live more, and we can start including all those tracks into our daily set lists, and at least they'll get some life there. But it would be really cool to at some point, kind of redo all of those things with the full band, including like redoing the guitar and and stuff. But yeah, sorry.
No, it's definitely something we could do down the road. Yeah.
It would be fun to, I love those songs. They're cool, but I mean, it would be even better, like kind of as the cohesive GutVoid unit.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a couple different things you got going on, and I find it interesting that I've seen some other interviews with you guys, and people keep harping on the prog elements, and I know that's important to you guys, and you have a sort of background. It's just interesting because for me, what draws me to a lot of that stuff is actually the doom part of it.
Oh, nice.
So
cool.
I guess I hear something and feel something a little bit differently. I just think that the Forbidden City is just, for me, just awesome. I just love that.
Sweet.
And like, I know people are saying, oh, like the Finnish sound, but like to me, like I hear like those little bits of like 90s My Dying Bride, Paradise Lost, a little bit of that type of stuff. And I haven't heard you talk about any of that, or like the doom aspect of it as opposed to the prog aspect of it. So I'm kind of interested in how that comes into it, and if those two things are fighting each other ever, or you feel like they're totally merged.
I think the doom aspect, we don't listen to those two bands. It's not our thing, but the doom, I would say, came from like bands like Crips and Mortiferum, like more recent bands actually. I guess there's some slower parts that might be sort of Incantation-esque, which maybe would come from my side, like they have a little bit of doom to them. I'm not sure what else. Spectral Voice. They were pretty big big to us in the beginning, which I guess would tie in with Disembowelment, that kind of sound. Yeah. So that would probably be the main, I would say the main bands for the doom side.
Yeah, I think it'd probably be from like, true doom or like classic doom bands. It's probably like filtered through bands that influenced us, who they themselves were influenced by those bands.
Sure. And I think some of those bands aren't necessarily doom, but have the sort of what I would consider the doom elements. I mean, I think bands have taken it so far now that you would never consider like Morbid Angel a doom band, but like some of the stuff that they do,
they have some slow,
the slower stuff.
And like Morbid Angel are like a big influence for us too. Like,
they're definitely in there.
Yeah, like Gateways to Annihilation. Like I love that album. That's like a big you'll on the album. There's some more, I think, direct Morbid Angel influence, but they've always kind of been there. Because like when we wrote Forbidden City was around the exact same time we wrote the EP, and around the time we wrote two of the tracks that are going to be on the album. So there's definitely kind of that element's kind of around that I don't want to say that era because it's, we're such a young band, but like that point in time when Dan and I wrote those songs, there's a lot of that kind of stuff coming out, including Morbid Angel. So
yeah,
sorry, that coming out in our writing.
Yeah. I don't know if there's any other Doom. I would say it's like definitely like for the recent bands, Mortiferum was pretty big.
Yeah.
More so just those slower, chunky riff, like that really influenced us in creating that app. But
how many songs are you doing for the new album?
There's gonna be 6 on the album.
Okay. Yeah. So when I hear 6 songs for an album, I'm assuming they're all going to be like longer guys. Like you seem to love like the 7-8 minute tunes.
Yeah, I think that's probably our sweet spot. I think the shortest song is like 5.5, and the longest is like around the 13-minute mark, give or take. Yeah. So it's and kind of everything in between. So yeah, like it's airing on longer, like I think like 7-8 minutes is probably like kind of the median range of the songs on the album.
Who's going to put out the full length? Do you have a label lined up?
Yeah, Blood Harvest.
Okay.
Yeah, we're signed to them.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so
they'll handle the full release.
Yeah, so they'll put.
You mentioned there's going to be other labels involved, like they were on the split, or is it not just Blood Harvest for that?
This will just be specifically Blood Harvest, but he'll send to distros like he'll probably send some to Rotted Life and Black Hole, because they all work together in that sense in distribution. But the CD, the tape, and the vinyl will strictly be Blood Harvest.
Yeah.
You guys have all your artwork seems to be black and white. At least I think the one with the guy in the torch was the Forbidden City one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought that was super cool. Are you going to do something similar with the art? And was that one guy who did all that stuff, or was it all different guys? Yeah.
So the guy who did all the EP artwork and the Forbidden City artwork is the guy named he goes by Carson Druitt. He's here in he was in Toronto. Now he's like he's in London right now, or nearest to Toronto, but he's another Ontario artist who I just kind of found out about I think before we even formed GutVoid, and I was just a big fan of his art, and then kind of he did artwork for a solo project I put out kind of before GutVoid, and then really loved working with them, and then said, hey, would you be down to do something like in a more like death metal vein? And he was all for it. And yeah, it's cool. Actually, here, let me. The artwork for Forbidden City, it's neat. Just a quick thing. It's like I don't know if you can see that. It's etched in on clay and then painted over. So it's like a really, really unique medium, and it's like the first time he ever did it, and he like absolutely knocked it out of the park. It's disgusting how talented he is.
Wait, that's not the original artwork, is it?
That is, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the original. Sorry, it's kind of glare, so it's hard to see. But
no, that's cool. It's nice that you got the original artwork. I would imagine that a lot of bands don't get that.
Yeah, we got. Sorry to get in front of the camera. Got another original piece too. That's the gut creature on the front.
Nice,
but,
yeah.
And there's
the original of that one too. So it's cool. Yeah, like
he's on Instagram.
But I want to get these framed.
Cool. I think I recognize a couple of those were at least in the playthrough video, maybe as other frames, something like that.
Yeah.
They're included in the book, the liner notes. Each song has the image.
So this one for the EP, this would be for Pilgrimage to the Necropolis Ruins, and then that would be for Tranced by a Frozen Dawn. So yeah, and then the little gut creature would be for the first track. They came dripping from the stars. Yeah. Fun to have fun, like kind of have like an image for each thing, and a good excuse to just get sweet art done by. But sorry, to roll it back to your question, your initial question. For the album artwork, we aren't going to do the black and white. We're getting like a colored painting commission.
But not by the same guy.
Not by the same guy, no. I think like I have some ideas maybe to include on some stuff like revolving around the LP, but we'll see. I gotta figure that out, talk to the band or whatever. But there.
I guess we'll use, I mentioned the playthrough video. Let's maybe talk a little bit about that. I'm assuming that was the album track that you were just playing along to, right? You didn't record something special for that.
No.
Yeah.
It would have been too hard to get Den to actually do the drums and everything. Just the timing of it all, but I think it still turned out good.
Yeah, and again, like because at that point that was like, Toronto and Ontario was like a severe lockdown. We couldn't even see each other go in anywhere. So we're like, what can we do? We can at least the three of us, play along with the track. And then I got my good friend Graham Wright, who has helped out with other videos and stuff, and a good friend and fan of the band. He kind of put that together. So we're like, let's put out something. We were hoping to do a playthrough of Murmurations or Forbidden City, like when those came out, but again, because of the circumstances, we just weren't able to, and so we wanted to put something out there that was fun and exciting. And like I'm a sucker for playthroughs, so I was like,
yeah. I like to see the 8-string guitars because I still can't get my mind around playing something that's like. Yeah. We are, so the EP and I think Forbidden City, I didn't have a 7-string at the time, so I was using an 8-string.
Yeah.
The stretches were ridiculous. And thankfully now because we just use 7 in this band, thankfully now I have it because it was just like so hard to play. Because it's like a brick. You have to wrap your hand around.
Eric, what do you play? Do you play a 4 or 5 on bass?
Bass, 4-string, and I mean I play guitar too, but it was just regular 6-string.
6-string.
I think I messed around on a 7-string like once way back, like when it was like hot, like super popular because of like I guess like Korn was using them and stuff. Remember like the big new metal thing was big, and like I don't know, I guess people use what they want to use. I stick to the 6 strings. That's it. That's enough strings. Actually, that's too many strings. That's why I was demoted to bass duty in most of the bands I played in. It's like, nah, take two of these strings away from this guy. He needs to just be relegated to the 4-string instruments.
Yeah.
I was playing a 5-string bass, but I think I could only do Ibanez because anything else was like just too thick for me. I was like,
they make a good. Yeah, I have a 5-string Ibanez. The neck size is great.
Yeah,
it's not too big.
Yeah, I've got a 5-string, not an Ibanez, but same thing. It was a custom made. I had to make sure it wasn't really thick because it's.
You have a custom made guitar?
Yeah, a custom made bass.
A custom made bass.
Yeah, a guy named Vadim. I was a luthier here in the Greater Toronto area. He's like this amazing, Russian guy who just makes the most incredible bass guitars.
Wow.
So I have a 4 and a 5-string from him.
Do you get to choose the shape or something, or is it like how do you?
No, not the shape. Flat.
I don't know. I'm super fascinated by this. Okay.
Yeah. So this is the 5-string fretless.
Fretless.
It's his shape, but I got to choose the wood in the top, the wood in the middle, the neck through wood and everything.
Are you a lefty or is this the camera doing this?
I'm a lefty.
I'm a lefty also. I'm a lefty.
You too?
Yeah.
No way. Amazing.
Yeah. I got lefty, what is it? LTD series bass, and I have a Fender Jazzmaster bass, and I've one electric. It's a Gibson SG from the 90s.
Sweet.
Isn't it just strung in reverse, or am I over?
No, it's a left-handed. It's made for a left-handed person.
Okay.
Made completely different.
Jimi Hendrix and Jimmy Haslip do the reverse thing.
Yeah.
Because they lefties, but played basically a right-handed guitar. But yeah.
Yeah, I think Haslip plays actually upside down with the
Is
lower.
that the guy from Dubs? Dubs or no? Which guy is that? Which guy plays
Oh, he's a jazz bassist.
a jazz bass? Okay. Because there was also another guy, yeah, from like, it was more like, I guess, indie Brit rock band that it was also, you're right, it was literally, the strings were not changed at all. It was like the lowest string was on the bottom.
Yeah, you just flip the, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is weird, which is really weird. I mean, obviously, if I mess around with like, a right-handed person's bass or guitar, that's how I would do it, but
I
it's
feel you.
not preference at all. It's not like, oh yeah, I want to do that. Like it'd be
Yeah,
like
like-
hard as hell to play like that. For
I would
sure.
say that must bend your mind, though. I like to, like,
Yeah,
It's hard. I
yeah,
I
it's not-
remember. Oh, sorry.
Oh, good. No, just say it's not easy.
Yeah, I back in university, like I was at a house party and like there's a kit, like a bass. My roommate used to play drums and we'd be like, oh, let's play something, and I'd have to like try it and be like, I hope no one's listening. This is embarrassing, but that's about the most I'll do it, because yeah, it's really hard to think, not only upside down but almost like mirror imaged as well. Like it's very strange. But yeah, I saw Eric. I feel your pain, but good to know. Look, next time when I'm in Brooklyn, I have to try out your stuff. It's good.
Okay, all right. Yeah, actually, that fretless bass looks pretty sick. I don't think I've ever played a fretless bass ever.
They're awesome. I highly suggest it. It's frustrating at first because you're like, this sounds horrible because your hand just isn't used to it.
Yeah.
Once it clicks, I have another 4-string and I will play it occasionally, but really I'm like I just want to play fretless all the time.
Cool.
It's so good.
Nice.
I can't even imagine doing that. No, I can't even play the fretted one. So, we talked a little bit before the interview started. I said we would talk about Augury a little bit. It's a band you guys played with before, and I guess Matho. Am I saying that right?
Matthew.
Matthew.
Or Matt. You could just Matt.
Matt.
Yeah, Matt.
Okay, so he's the guy who recorded some of your stuff. Is he still helping you guys out with that?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, Dan. I feel like I'm talking.
He mixed and mastered the Forbidden City.
Okay.
Yeah, we recorded everything and then he mixed and mastered it. But we haven't worked with him since, but we'd love to again. He's a really good engineer.
Yeah, and like great friend. Yeah, like we're
we've
been Augury fans and friends since what, like 2006?
Yeah, 2006.
We made a first show with them.
Yeah.
And that's another Canadian band, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, they're based out of Montreal. They're awesome. If anyone watching this, like if you don't know Augury, like go check them out immediately.
Yep.
They're incredible players. And speaking of another left-handed fretless bass player, Forrest.
Okay.
It's a crazy.
Them.
Okay.
There we go.
That's their latest album.
Okay.
Yeah, Lucid Golden Age.
Yeah, check it out.
Yeah,
Check it out.
amazing.
Check it out.
Check it out.
Oot.
Don't be a hoser. Go check it out, eh?
I made my kids watch Strange Brew several times, so they know all about it.
All the Canadians, yeah.
Awesome.
We'll talk. So you guys were playing with them in your former band, Diadem.
Yeah.
But I know you guys play in a bunch of other bands together, and then have some other side projects. Fumes, I think, is one of them, and Grotesque Mass is another one. So let's talk about some of the other stuff, because I know some of it sounds very much like it could be a GutVoid song, and I'd be like, oh, okay, I could see this as, and then other stuff is not at all like that. So let's just talk about some of the other stuff that you guys are involved in.
Sweet. You want to go first, Dan?
Sure. Yeah, I guess the most common, between us, would be Fumes, because Brennan sings in it. It's sort of GutVoidish in a way, maybe. There's some Doom aspects to it, but it's more technical. It's way more technical, and I guess shorter songs.
Yeah, I feel like
it's a different sound. It's more, I guess, I don't know. Gore Guts, like dissonant, I would say.
Yeah.
like if I could, like Dan, Dan like is the primary writer, so this is just coming from like my vantage point. But GutVoid, I think there's a lot of like song structure, kind of like there's verses, there's choruses, there's parts that come back. Where I think Fumes is a lot more fluid, like like it has like those dissonant, like you can hear a lot of Worm, you can hear a lot of Artificial Brain.
Yeah.
In there, it's like I'd say it flows in a different manner. But yeah, I think like there's probably revolving kind of influences between both.
Yeah.
Yeah, and from the one thing I can speak from being involved in it vocally, I go about it different than I do GutVoid.
That's way lower, right?
Yeah,
lower.
yeah. Like GutVoid, I'm like I'd be like GutVoid's like in my low voice, if you will. Whereas with Fumes, I try to go like as low as I possibly can, like even lower, but also like some guttural, like Big Whale from Artificial Brain is a big influence of mine, especially in Fumes. I'm like trying to get that really like guttural low stuff. But then I also will do some higher stuff, which is kind of like going back to like a Diadem, our first band, where I can do kind of like higher vocals, where all like that kind of outside range really isn't a GutVoid. GutVoid, I kind of try to keep in that consistent like low, but like almost like the good era of Opeth, like Still Life to Damnation Deliverance, like Ackerfeld's voice there is kind of what I'm trying to go for or influenced. But yeah, Fumes is kind of like those outer limits on the other end.
And there's a bit of a brutal death. We're huge Wormed fans from Spain.
Yeah.
So it might be hard to hear, but there's a lot of Wormed in there. Chord wise, like on the guitar. Yeah. Yes. I'll just keep going.
And we were talking about Cryptic Shift also, who I don't know if they're technically label mates, but I guess they are or were.
They were. Yeah, we can still say that. Yeah, they're great band.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Eric's got the shirt on, so that's why we were talking about.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, and I mentioned
almost
just to continue on about projects. I have one called Exalted with Ryan from Cryptic Shift and Slime Lord. He's playing drums on it.
Cool.
Yeah.
What style is that?
It's like a little bit of Bolt Thrower and Morpheus Bends. And what was the other big one? Mortiscald is a pretty big influence on it.
Sure.
Yeah, like mid-tempo, kind of more groovy.
Sure.
Yeah, a little bit convulsed, I guess, too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's obviously in England. This is all remote trading tracks.
Yeah, he's in England. I'm in Milton, Toronto area. There's Frank, who's in California. I believe the bassist is in California as well. It's his friend. And Andrew from Coagulate is involved too. And he's in Minnesota. So yeah, it's just it's mainly Frank and I trading riffs back and forth.
And Frank's from Soul Devourment.
Yeah, that's Soul Devourment. Andy runs Sewer Rot with Andrew too. So that's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, those guys are involved in that.
So how many? What's the plan with that? How many tracks? And I mean, I'm assuming that it's all Blood Harvest bands.
No, this album, or sorry, this band is mainly Sewer Rot guys, because Slime Lord's on Sewer Rot, Soul Devourment, and Coagulate are all on Sewer Rot.
Okay.
There'll be, I think we're gonna do one more song, so it'll be like 6 or 7 songs plus a cover, and it revolves around like Japanese history. Frank's a big history buff. I think he taught history too, high school history. So yeah, that's the theme for that release, and called Exalted. It should be coming out.
Some samurais on the cover or something like that.
Yeah. There's some cool surprises in there too. Yeah.
Is the cover like from a Japanese band?
No, no, it's designed by Nev, Gruesome Graphics. He did the split cover, and he did like Fumes and all my side project stuff. He's done the artwork. He's done stuff for Brennan's side project. He wants to talk about that too. His stuff.
Sorry, I gotta plug my laptop in.
Yeah, so I'll just keep going. I got Internal Infestation, which is a death thrash band. I'll get to that one in a second. That's got the vocalist from Seep, and it's just me and him doing like morbid kind of stuff. We're working on a full length that should be coming out next year.
Seep, they're from like they're from north. Well, not north to you guys, north to us guys.
Yeah, he's in Maine.
Maine, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so we're
like Big Daddy Gore Guts or something. Like, is this not Gore Guts? Big Daddy Gore, right?
Gore.
Yeah. He's awesome.
Great guy.
Yeah, I listened to some of the Seep stuff. They did I saw a couple cool videos that they did. We tried to get him on. He sort of was kind of interested, but then I think maybe he didn't realize it was a video interview. And then
he kind of he keeps it. Yeah, he's a great guy though. That turned out really good. Nev did actually I'll plug it because I have Frankfurt.
That's such good artwork. Man.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, and then I have I'm plugging all this stuff. Grotesque Mass, which is like grindcore and death mashed together.
I was listening to that too. It wasn't like it's not super fast, but the songs are pretty short, so I could see where that like it's definitely not like the huge GutVoid.
No, this is like the other side.
The other side of it. It's the other side of things. Yeah.
I gotta mention that guys on this. One guy, the first vocalist on the first demo, his name's Jay. He used to be in Gortuary, which are awesome brutal death band. And on the second demo, Kyle from Pray for Death Productions, who mixed Thorn. He works with Thorn. I don't know if you know Thorn from Arizona.
Yeah.
I did the split with. Yeah, that's who did the vocals on the second demo. Really good vocal. Cool. Have to mention those.
You got like a ton of projects going. It's like so.
Yeah, let's keep going. I got to plug this stuff. This is just me. It's called Intestinal Hex. This came out on Stump Grinder Records. I just got the tapes.
I got the steel tape, so I'm very happy.
What's a steel tape? Like, what's a steel tape? Like actually made of steel?
No, he
took it from him.
Yeah, he stole the tape.
I told Dan too. I'm taking one. Too bad.
This is just straight up, just like Cannibal Corpse kind of style. Maybe some Demolic or Demolich, however you say it. It's pretty straight ahead stuff, and I think that's it. Brennan's got some good stuff too.
I think so. Yeah. Here, let me.
It's like show and tell.
Yeah, I know. Let me do more stuff. So this is my most recent project. It's just me. It's called Puke Wraith. It's I don't know, like same thing, like straightforward. Like I would say probably same influences as Intestinal Hex, like a lot of Cannibal Corpse influence in there, but sounds I think different than that. It's interesting. Yeah, I think you can hear different sides of Cannibal Corpse in both of our stuff. But yeah, this is like again also Nev with some graphics to the artwork. Sorry for the glare.
Oh yeah, it's pretty cool. It's like he's like melting, dissolving into a coffin.
Yeah. So the EP is called Return Through Bile. So it's like a zombie coming back bile. It's like
cool. And we'll put all the links to everything in the description. We'll work it out, get all those links. So if you're watching, if you've made it this far in the interview, go open the description, check out all that stuff, and you'll be listening to new music for several months.
Yeah. That's fun. Then it's not really the one other thing I can plug, which it really isn't death metal, but it's like I have a prog project at called Wexler's Prime. That's just me, and Dan's like helped out. He was one of the guitars on the first album and did a guest solo on the second one, but it's a lot more of the like a lot of Rush influence and like Dream Theater, but then also Gore Guts and Martyr from Quebec, who's another like massive influence for me.
Oh yeah, wait, that band has the guitars for that is in Voivod, right?
Yeah, Mulgrane. Yeah. He was on From Wisdom to Hate.
He was in Gore
Guts album.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so like massive influence on that too. So I mean, that's like, you know, out of all the stuff we're talking about, that's the one that's definitely kind of the black sheep of all of our projects. But there's that, and then there's Untitled, which was our first band together, which is if you like Opeth, you'll like that because we wear the influence on our sleeves. We're pretty young, but it's got some merit.
Cool. You guys are in a ton of bands. I've seen other things with you guys where you were talking about Pro Tools and Cubase and stuff.
Yeah.
I guess I'm kind of interested in how much you're actually still recording yourselves. I know it's got to be, now that you have a drummer, I figure you're either sort of in a studio or he's got an electronic set or one or the other. But how are you guys recording now with all this different stuff?
So like, yeah, like right now for the album, we are at Boxcar Studios, which is a place in Hamilton that's done other metal acts around here, like Tumult has recorded there. And we saw the room and it was great. And we've got, like, we're doing the drums there, but we might also do like vocals there or vocals at a studio, but everything else, like the guitars and the bass, will be tracking kind of just at both Dan and I's respective studios, just like our home studios. And then like, same thing for Murmurations. We went to a friend of mine, Nick Boyd. He has a studio, and we kind of, that one we did everything there just because we're like, oh, let's like, you know, be funded rather than do drums but then track at home. Let's just track everything there. And so we just kind of, it was a bit of a different experience, but just, you know, I'm sure Dan will agree with a bit of, you know, the climate right now with, you know, the potential fourth wave going through and stuff. It's just, you know, it's easier to, I don't know if easier is the right word, but it's just, it makes sense to kind of do stuff at home and, you know, kind of tackle it as you can and at least keeping the ball going. But yeah, with drums, like we had to go into a studio. There's just no way.
Yeah. So if you do the drums in a studio and then you're tracking at home, are you mixing remotely, or do you go to some place and mix it all to, like, are you like to get together for the mix, or do you just sort of do it remotely?
For this, it's going to be remotely based on who we went with. He's in, where's he located, Brendan? Finland?
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll kind of track everything, send it across, and then kind of, you know, deal with it from there, kind of like, you know, through email and stuff like that. But if, like, of course, if it was possible that, you know, we all could get in a room and be there for the mixing, and like that would for sure be preferable. But yeah, unfortunately.
I feel like now with a lot of the you know, modern music, the band people are not there during the mix. They're not anymore. Like, you know, it's just like, okay, here's some notes. Then they send it, you listen to it, and then you're like, okay, well, change that. You know, it's not like actually sitting there and giving notes.
Yeah.
Everybody's got, well, a lot of people who are writing music have some type of home studio.
Yeah. It's the nice.
I guess up-and-coming mixers are mixing at home studios too.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But it would, I guess, like for us, we would love to be in an actual studio.
Yeah.
Rather than doing it remotely.
Sure.
But it is great knowing that, you know, like a lot of bands who have had to do that and not been there, like the mixes are incredible. Like, I don't know if you guys heard the latest Sunless single for their upcoming second album.
Yeah.
But like, you know, Colin mixed that, and I'm pretty sure, you know, it was from a distance, and it's incredible. It sounds so good.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane. So it's like, it's, you know, it's preferable, of course, to be there, but it's nice seeing that it can be done. You know, if there's anything that, you know, was, you know, if you can derive a positive from kind of the unfortunate circumstances the world's been in, it's that telecommunication and distancing has still allowed for really great creativity and great products to come out, which has, you know, been a huge source of, I think, positivity throughout all of this.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, we talked to a lot of people about COVID and that stuff, and it usually either goes in one of two directions. It's like no, we were touring relentlessly, and now we just need a break and haven't done jack. Or, you know, the opposite, like we have nothing but time, and now we're, you know, doing all this crazy stuff.
Like writing a bunch.
Writing and yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, I don't want to speak for Dan, but I'm assuming you probably agree. Like, you know, he and I throughout this have put out a lot of stuff, started a lot of projects, put out stuff, started, you know, collaborations, and I think it's, you know, it's been a source of kind of helping cope with like not being able to, like, Dennis joined GutVoid literally like a couple days before Toronto went into its first lockdown back in March 2020. Like, we jammed with him twice. We're like, holy shit, this guy's incredible. We all get like gel well. This is great. We've got a band. And then it's like, well, you don't, or you do, but you can't practice. And, you know, like if you know, if things were different and we had been able to practice, we probably would have had the album ready to go by now. We would have played shows, but we haven't. Like we had the first full band practice, what, like 3-4 months ago, something like that, because it just locked it.
Together as a band.
Pardon?
Yeah, we haven't jammed that much, really, because of COVID. We haven't really jammed.
Yeah.
It's been all
a handful of times.
Yeah, it's been kind of everyone like we'll be sending files, kind of tackling it on our own when we, you know, when there was pockets when like, oh, things are kind of open, we can hop in. Not everyone could make it in, like some of us could, and it was really, you know, it was kind of balancing between everyone tackling on their own, but also trying to keep this cohesive unit. And thankfully, we were able to do that. But despite that, it's keeping music going, keeping being creative despite this. At least it's been a huge, you know, help for me to kind of tackle with the state of the world that's been going on, and you know, the absolute awfulness of what it's done. At least, you know, saying, okay, well, despite that, like, I can use somehow, like, this is an outlet to help things going, and it's you know, it's been a big help, you know, mentally and emotionally. So yeah, like, you know, if we were a touring band, you'd probably be like, well, you know, like I have friends who, like I mentioned, our friend Graham Wright, like, you know, he's in a full-time band, but then they haven't toured. They played their first 2 shows like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, in like over 2 years or something because of it. So we don't have that great, but, you know, I guess what I'm getting at is it's been a way to keep active and keep creative and put out stuff, which is, you know, probably why Dan and I were like, oh, show and tell time. Here's all the projects we're in.
Cool. I'm at the end of my notes, Eric. And we've been blabbing on for a while. We've probably got like, you know, 1% of the people have made it this far, but I'm glad that
I'm sorry.
They're still with us. No,
it's all good. It's all good.
No,
so,
people can drop when they want to, and if they just can't get enough, then well, you know, stay to the end.
One viewer, one person to stay.
If I can get one person to stay to the end, that's cool.
So that person,
anything else you want to add or promote or future things you want to mention, you can say it now, I guess, whatever.
Now's your chance.
Yeah, this is
future things. Like what else? Just I guess the GutVoid LP. We're gonna be finishing tomorrow the drums. It's the last day for drums.
Mm-hmm.
Then we'll start, I guess, bass, guitars, vocals. Hopefully, I guess we're aiming for mid 2022. Brendan, right?
Something like that. Geez, that far away? Okay.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I know it takes a while, you know.
Yeah, I think
the thing is like if we find the time where we're able to, we can just like finish all the recording stuff and we, you know, send it off. If we can get the mix done really great and the master done, fantastic. But then it's like, even with that, there's, you know, a lot of facility delays on the physical mediums, like vinyls, like, so what
I've heard,
So I mean, that's probably gonna have some play into when it will be released, but you know, I think our plan is like aim for them. If it can be before, great. You know, we have been sitting on this music and we love it. We can't wait for everyone to hear it. And like, you know, like at the top of the conversation, hear kind of where we've gone from murmurations, which is kind of like a good indication of like a melt of like prior stuff to be expected. And so we can't wait. So as soon as we can, as soon as it's ready, we want to get it out there. But, you know, I would love to be like, yeah, like by the end of the year, that'd be incredible. But it's just, unfortunately, you know, I think mid next year is probably the safest bet.
Yeah, just production. I'd say that's what's really holding up the manufacturers, like of the vinyl and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. But you know, the ball's rolling. You know, art's on its way. Like I said, we have someone to mix it lined up. We've, you know, the drums are almost done, so it's definitely coming along, which is great. So just for that one person, or hopefully more, who's still here, let's, you know, keep your eyes out. You know, we'll be giving updates when we can. And you can, you know, check our Instagram. We're gonna be, you know, I guess this will probably go up after we're done, but throughout the recording process, we've been posting stuff, and we're gonna keep posting stuff. So, you know, that's a good source of just kind of getting on updates on that. And then one other future thing, and kind of I think we mentioned this before, like, you know, we're hoping to play some shows. We're hoping that things look to maybe be opening up soon-ish. At least like some shows are going on. Hopefully they stay that way. So hopefully we can get on some stuff maybe in the winter. And with that, like, you know, hopefully we can get down and you know, New Jersey to New York, you know, play with you guys. Like, that'd be amazing. You know, like we've never, like Dan and I, at least, we have not played the States. The other guys have. You know, but it'd be amazing to get down there and play there. Like, you know, there's tons of, you know, bands that we love from, you know, that area and other areas, and we would just be great to kind of get there and, you know, just play some shows and have a good time. So
yeah,
hopefully that'll happen.
Cool.
Excellent. Yeah, looking forward to seeing you guys come down, and hopefully it's soon. And yeah, I don't know. I want to hear Forbidden City live. I don't know, and I want to hear what he does with it, with the drums like that. I'm kind of like super interested in that.
Listen, we're gonna tell Dennis. We're gonna say, look, you got to learn that one. We're throwing it in the set list. We're gonna make them. It's been requested. It's
been requested.
He has to.
We're sending him this link, Dennis. You heard this.
Call him out.
Yeah, no, but that'd be great. Like, it's you know, I'd have to relearn it. It's been a while since I played that, but it's good to know that it's gotten love. Like, I feel like it was an early one that Dan and I wrote, and it actually was almost about to go on the EP, but it didn't quite make the cut. And they were like, well, let's still use this or something.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I'm happy to hear that you enjoyed it. You know.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like, that's one of my favorite ones because it's just so doomy and so like, I just, you know,
yeah.
There's not a lot of, you know, but there's not a lot of bands that do that type of doomy stuff well.
Oh,
and you know, I think that's why it's, you know, like we love death metal. We listen to tons of death metal, but you know, there's certain styles that not everybody can do well, you know.
To go back to the previous question, speaking of that song, we were influenced kind of by Time Ghoul. They do me part. Yeah, they definitely influenced some sections in Forbidden City.
Okay. I'll have to check that out. I'm not too I see Eric nodding Eric nods his head at everything because he knows all that stuff. So I don't know that one, but I'll definitely check it out.
Yeah, they're not a band. They're I guess they split up mid-90s. They're from Missouri.
Okay.
Really like unique style of death metal. Kind of a bit of doom, sci-fi. Yeah.
Cool. That's speaking my language. That stuff.
Yeah, they're cool. I totally forgot that at the top when we were talking about stuff. So I'm glad you brought it up because and specifically with that song, they were definitely an influence.
Cool. Well, I guess
we've got to start learning that now.
Yeah.
Damn, we got some work ahead of us.
Do a playthrough of that. I'll watch that for sure.
All right, hey. Sweet. Let's do it.
Okay. Anyway, I think we'll wrap it up. What?
Oh, I just wanted to plug Blood Harvest and Stump Grinder Barbaric Brutality, Life After Death. Who else? Cavernous Records, Black Hole Productions, Rotted Life. All these amazing labels. Sewer Rot. Yeah, just get their name. If that one person who's watching is looking for new music.
Again, we'll put all the links
one
in the
person-
bottom, and
Yeah.
and I'm sure you guys will send me the links. We'll talk about it later, but
Yeah.
it'll be this long in the
Yeah,
description.
yeah.
I'm totally
Send
cool.
the
Like,
essay over.
that's my favorite part, is just having all those links.
Uh,
But yeah, no, I really super appreciate you guys coming on, spending some time with us. I'm looking forward to the new album. I really like the stuff that you did, so we were real super stoked that you agreed to come on.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having us. It's
yeah,
awesome.
like,
Thanks.
really appreciate it. And thanks for letting me ramble so much. I apologize.
I'll edit that shit out later.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool. Bye, everybody.
All right. Take care.